Stool with Matt Nic.
One thought that occurred to me was the crowd that tends to deny any kind of climate change is also, traditionally the really religious right. And so it's like, well, it's not happening because we don't see anything, but Jesus is real. I mean, it's like, why do you need to see something to have fucking proof of it? You don't. That's never been an issue for you before. Well, welcome to the Loose Stool, everybody. I'm Matt, sitting here talking to Nick, and I see you sipping on something over there, buddy. What you got?
Oh, I've got some Red Hook. I'm not drinking. I have some of the high-calorie Big Ballard IPAs, but currently I'm drinking the extra special bitter. And let me tell you something. I always went on and on about what a great value these are. Went in to get them today. 20% off on top of the great value that it already was. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? Although, because it used to be $5.99 for a 4-pack. And then what I thought they did was take 20. Hold on. Let me start this story. I walked out of the store thinking I got a really good fucking deal because they're like 20% off, $5.59 a 4-pack. I was like, hell yeah, 20% off. They already were cheap. What I realized they did, though, was they raised the price $1 and then took 20% off. So it was cheaper than they normally are, but I forgot that they're normally $5.99, not $6.99. They raised them to $6.99, and then they took 20% off, and now they're $5.59. So it wasn't as good of a deal as I thought it was. Like I told you before we started recording, I'm a little ADD with my storytelling today, so that was a little all over the place.
That's the same shit that that's the same shit Kohl's does.
Yeah.
Have you ever shop at Kohl's where it's like, they always have sales, but that's because a pair of jeans is like $80 without the discount.
It's so like ridiculous. Most stores, like everything has a retail price, right? But that's never the price that a thing actually is. Like there's always a price under the retail price. But what Kohl's does is they say that the retail price is actually the price. And then instead of just making it cheaper than the retail price and selling that as what it costs, they say, oh, no, it's 20% off. It's 20% off the retail, but nobody sells at retail. Like that's where they, But you're right. It's the exact same fucking thing. I'm just saying, they just like do it in a like what they're doing isn't exactly wrong. Even though I'm pretty sure they've been sued for it before because you're not supposed to pretend that things are on sale when they're not. But because they have this argument of like, well, no, we're taking 20% off retail. Okay, fine.
But I think the thing about retail is I think they have exorbitant prices and then put things on sale all the time. And they're actually, when it's on sale, is what the retail price should be.
No, this is where you're misunderstanding so retail price is what the manufacturer recommends that something should be sold for, but nobody ever sells at retail price. Everybody does what you're saying is like they just make it a lower price and they just say this is the price. What Kohl's does is they use the retail price as their main price and then say they're marking it down from there. You know what I mean? So like if you were to look up right now, like what the retail price of a American-made Fender Stratocaster is, the retail price is going to be like $1,800, but we all know you could actually go get one for like $1,200, $1,300 in the store because that's what they're actually sold for. But what Kohl's would do is say, no, we sell it for $1,800, but we're going to give you a discount and sell it to you for $1,200, which is the same price that it is everywhere else.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. Again, I'm going to have, this is going to be a bad episode. I can't explain shit for shit right now. I'm so fucking out of it. This is going to be terrible. I'm warning you all right now.
Yeah. Well, and that coupled with the fact, before I get into what I'm drinking, and I'm keeping a real close eye on the mouth of this can, because I don't think this is going to be the original me mentioning this is going to be left in, but those fucking drain flies I got back in here.
Oh, yeah, we got way off topic. Yeah.
I had a real problem with these like little fucking fruit flies being in my apartment last year, and I've done everything in my power to make sure they didn't come back this year, and I was successful up until like 2 weeks ago, and just been pissing me the hell off, man. And I got to start setting traps again like I did last year. It worked pretty well where I had these little Tupperware containers, and I'd put like maybe an ounce of red wine and then mix in some dish soap. I found this thing online told me to do this. So red wine and a little dish soap, and you just leave that out, and they're attracted to the sugar. And then when they get in there, the soap like keeps them in there, and they die.
Right,
So
traps them.
Yeah, and I got to get on that again. But anyway, I forget exactly where I'm going with that.
What are you having? That's where we're going.
Yeah, sure. I actually got this. This may sound trashy, but they're pretty decent. It's Natural Light. They're called Natter Days. They come in a 4-pack for $2.99, and it's kind of like the beer mosa a little bit, but it's strawberry lemonade beer. And it's pretty nice.
I've seen those. I've seen them in the store. The pink to the yellow case or whatever it is.
Yep.
I have been tempted to try them, but then I'm always like, if I'm going to get a flavored beer like that, I don't know if I'm going to go for natties. But now that you're kind of giving a recommendation, I might have to give it a try.
Yeah, they're not bad at all. And I just remembered why I even brought up the flies is because if you hear me swatting during this podcast, that's why. That's the only reason.
You're not just clapping because of what we were saying. Yeah. You're not just.
I'm not just applauding. Yeah. So, anyway.
So have you seen? I got to ask though before I think you were going to ask me what I'm up to, but have you seen the Natty Daddies yet? That's another new type of fucking natural. I was going to say natural ice. It is basically natural ice, but even worse. So you have Natty Ice, which is like 5.5%, right? Well, they now have the Natty Daddy, which is 8%. And I can't imagine how terrible that fucking beer is.
It's got to be like some Steel Reserve Hurricane.
That's what it's exactly what I was thinking. I almost got one day.
Which is that is the grossest shit ever, dude. Like back in the day when I was probably 18 or 19 and I worked at the gas station, I could just sell myself alcohol after hours. I would do that a lot. I didn't have a lot of money, so I would get 4-packs of Hurricane and all that. And I'm ashamed to admit there was a very brief period of time that I tried out chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
And I had forgot that I used like a half full can of Hurricane one night to spit in.
Yeah.
And then I came back to my room the next day and I reached for the one that I was currently drinking, but I accidentally drank the half Hurricane, half spitter cup, and like I projectile vomited onto my carpet.
I gotta say, I've actually heard that story from a lot of people who've chewed before. Like, I think it comes with the territory. If you chew, there's at least going to be one point in your life, probably more, where you pick up the wrong can and you fucking drink your fucking your spit swill. It's awful.
Yeah, it is the grossest combination of things I've ever had in my mouth. And that's saying a lot.
Good job covering the joke before I could get to it,
Man. Yeah, feeling a little low energy, but I know we got some stories and some things to talk about. So what's been going on with you, man?
Well, not a whole lot. Mostly typical week. We did finish the concrete pad for my new cabin that will be finished late spring, early summer next year. So we got the concrete down. We got the plumbing in the ground because you had to pour the concrete on top of it. First time I've ever done concrete. We did a very, very lovely job. My boss keeps telling me, like, oh, we'll do concrete anytime. You're really good at that for your first time. Like, oh, fuck, here we go now. But actually, I'm just joking because I actually enjoyed the work myself. It was kind of fun, like, leveling it out at the end, like, just, like, getting in there precise and, everything. Like, yeah, just getting it nice. And originally my building site was in a different place, and we were going to go with posts instead of a concrete pad. And holy fuck, dealing with the posts and trying to get them all square and on center and everything. I mean, it was a 2-week process, like where every other day we go out there for several hours, and like try to get everything right. And then it would settle again, even though we had like poured concrete in the bottom of the holes and tried to, get everything like just right. It's just constant adjusting. But with the beauty of the concrete pad, man, you pour that shit and you're like good to go. And then my boss is like, yeah, this is the right way to do it. Yeah, now we're done. Now there's no coming out here and going, oh, drag this one 3/8 inches to the northwest corner, and then like pulling strings around and everything. So that was pretty exciting. I had fun doing that, and it's just more progress for the new cabin that I wish I would have had at the beginning of this summer, but lumber shortages, inflation, fucking all sorts of shit. But that was my big excitement. As you can tell, I'm feeling quite proud of myself for that. So that's cool. that's my personal story for the week. You got anything going on?
A little bit. I was just going to ask you, like, do you think you're going to have that finished before winter?
Not this winter. No. That's why we put the different. Oh yeah, this wasn't on air, but I just redid my heat. We redid some things for my cabin. I just dug an outhouse actually because the bathroom I currently have typically freezes over winter. And we thought originally my cabin would be done this summer, but we literally could not get lumber. And then we called up a sawmill and we were going to buy green lumber. Like, we were just going to get green wood and then let it dry in the frame, basically. But the problem with that is you can't seal it with plastic because when the lumber dries, you then get the moisture from the wood stuck in between and you rot the whole fucking thing out, right? But here's the way it went. It would have been really cool to have my cabin done this year, but now we're actually going to be able to use dried, finished lumber, that's not green. It's going to be a lot more cost effective because the prices this summer have been ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, Frank, my boss, was calling up all these people trying to get like wood, and there's so many projects going on. It's unbelievable. You can't get shit. You just can't.
No, I believe it. My buddy up north owns his own sawmill business, and they like make their own lumber. And he's been doing real well, but I believe it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just insane how there's such a demand for lumber right now that no one can get it.
There's apparently, this is the craziest shit. There's a sawmill shortage right now. That's how many people, because they realize the opportunity, even though like they're not going to get their sawmill in time now to actually take advantage of the opportunity. But so many people saw it that there is now like a 1.5 wait list just to get a sawmill. Like, that's how far behind like the shit is, So it's it got pretty crazy with the building and the construction costs over this summer. So I was kind of interested to see what working with the green lumber would be like and what you'd have to do to kind of make sure everything worked out all right. But that's not to say I'm not super glad, actually. It's like, I'll wait another 8 months, like, let's get this done like the right way, And again, we couldn't even get the material, so I didn't even really have a choice. But
oh, well, man, I've just been this past week. I feel kind of shitty because I've really been off my diet wagon, literally the past week, 7 days. Well, I guess it'd be 7 days tomorrow. Not that it matters, but Last
Well, it
weekend
does.
I had
It does. One day is a